Shri Guru Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sarvanatam Tam Sajivam Sarvaitam Savadutam Parijanasaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sarvanatam Shri Shakam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nidhi Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshvarini Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Mahasindhubhyeva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Bhaktakanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I'm very happy to come to the Panathur Center and very nice devotees, and here the devotees are very eager to hear very nicely, and that is a very nice sign of advancement in Krishna consciousness. So on a Sunday morning, so everybody are here to hear Krishna Katha. So today's topic is this chapter of universal, the vision of universal form. So in this three different sections, is there. The first section is the section of Vasudev sending Garga Muni, the family priest of Yadu dynasty, to come and do the naming ceremony of Krishna and Balaram. And then the next portion, it is all about the elderly gopis. They are complaining about Krishna and Balaram, and all the kids, all the gopas, the small boys. So they are going and stealing butter. So, and after that, the third portion is that Krishna eats mud, and then complaint is lodged against him again, and then all the friends, this time not the gopis, are complaining. So, but the friends of Krishna, so they are complaining, and so like first time when gopis complained, so Yashoda Maya did not take action on that. So, but then now when the friends complain, so then Yashoda Maya actually takes action on them. So these are the three sections that are there. So the first section is like right now the thing that has happened is basically two demons were described, Putana and Trinavrata. So before this, and so they were killed by Krishna. And there is this, from the beginning, there is this problem that is there. The Kamsa is in trouble, he is in anxiety. So the eighth child of Devaki will kill him, and then somehow it is proven false, according to his external vision. So that the eighth child turned out to be a girl baby, and then on the advice of the ministers of Kamsa, so he decided to kill all the children who were born in the last 10 days. That's the task that is taken upon, and he sends many different demons. So in midst of this, so the devotees in Vrindavan, so they don't know about this calamity. And during the time of Putana's this one, so one small hint was given by Vasudeva to Nanda Maharaj that Nanda Maharaj had gone to pay taxes in Mathura, and one small hint was given that maybe it is not very safe for the children over there. So you please get back to Vrindavan as quickly as possible. And then practically also Nanda Maharaj actually sees that, so the demons are coming and there is trouble that is there. So, but still they have not taken so much of like this one about there is this thread, that Krishna being that destined son, who's going to kill Kamsa. So this is not very much clear to them. And in midst of this, Vasudev, like who is now released, previously he was in the jail and now he's released, and he is in anxiety. So I have begotten children, and I have not done samskara for them. So this is an anxiety that he is actually having. So it is, we see that in the Vedic tradition. So what is the duty of a parent? What is the duty of a responsible person? So what they were very much worried about. So now in the modern day, we see that like what is the duty of the parents? Maybe they should leave back some bank balance, not some debts and things like that. So there is one Chanakya Pandit's son is there. Like what is that? A father who leaves back debts is an enemy. So like that's some this one is there. Like so then yeah, so like at least some money is left, or some these days people plan that I should leave some property, in the name of my children, and some kind of this ones. So but here we see in the Vedic times, so their duty was based on the samskaras. So like they were so much worried. No, this is my duty to perform the samskara for this child. Like Krishna and Balram, they are my children, and I am not able to, like I'm not in a position to perform samskaras to them. So he is like very much anxious about that. So in our IVF class also we were discussing this point, and here also this particular context has come. So like we see that the parents, what duty they are very anxious about doing towards their children. Which is the duty the parents are very anxious towards their children? Studying well. Okay. After that, huh? Admission in good school. Huh? Get married. That is the biggest thing. Once that is finished, everything is done. All duty is done. So at least one samskara they are like still sticking on to, that is Vivaha samskar. So here we see that Vasudev, he was so much anxious. My children are born, and then I have not done the samskara. So like first samskara, like one of the first samskaras that is there is the Namakarna. So like he was very anxious, and he sent Garga Muni, the family priest of Yadu dynasty, to go and perform this Namakarna. So in like in the Vrindavan or in the Gokul as of now. So when Garga Muni actually comes to the place of Nanda Maharaj, he is well received over there, and Nanda Maharaj is a very nice, cultured person. So he gives nice reception to the sadhu that has come, like the brahmana that has come to his place, and he is asking one nice this one like he's addressing Garga Muni very politely and saying, "My dear brahmana, your appearance in householder's place is only to enlighten. We are always engaged in household duties and are forgetting our real duty of self-realization. Your coming to our house is to give us some enlightenment about spiritual life. You have no other purpose in visiting householders." Right? So this is the job of a saint, sadhu, or a brahmana. His brahmana's duty is to all the time engaged in the pursuits of self-realization, and then he should enlighten others about self-realization. So it doesn't mean that Nanda Maharaj was not a devotee and he is not devotee and he's doing all like non-devotional activities and things like that. No, it is not like that. He is a devotee, he is performing devotional activities, but because of his other responsibilities, there is the intensity of remembrance of the self-realization may sometimes go down, but not in the case of Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj is a very exalted person. But in general, this is what happens. Like when we are engaged in other material duties, somehow or other we lose track of Krishna consciousness. And it requires that we again and again get reminded of this particular aspect. The self-realization is the prime subject of our life. This is the prime duty of our life. All other things are there just to facilitate this particular thing. So in terms of in ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada actually has mentioned that if you can keep the devotional service, that is Shravanam and Kirtanam very nicely going on, so then all your management will go on very nicely. That's a statement. So it is like, the missionaries grahasti is the management of the missionary activities, and those management also sometimes take a person's sight off the self realization. So that is why we should always keep reminding ourselves that Shravanam and Kirtanam, the now with the bhakti, is the key thing in our life. And Shravanam and Kirtanam of the now with the bhakti, the Shravanam Kirtanam is the key thing of our life. And for that only we are doing all other things. And we should somehow or other keep that as a core element. And like if some crisis comes, like we all know that if there is a crisis, then we will get into some lean model. We'll get into some what is that cost cutting model and things like that. So if there is some crisis of time, if there is some crisis of resources, if there is some crisis of any nature, so then a devotee knows like what to cut off. And finally, he will not cut off the Shravanam and Kirtanam. If he has to die, he will hear and die. He will do Shravanam, Kirtanam and die. But he will not give that up, right? So rest of the things he is ready to give up. Rest all the things he can ready, he will be ready to give up. But this thing should not be given up because this is the prime subject of self-realization. So I heard that some devotees, when they were sick and having fever and like very difficult times, even then they would not compromise on their 16 blocks. Even the devotees, other devotees may tell that like you can postpone, like now you are in very miserable state, so later you can chant. Like then the devotee would say like no, it is a vow that I've given to my spiritual master. I should do this thing. So this is a very nice vrata, very nice this one, that not giving up Shravanam and Kirtanam. So like here we see that the association, all of us are coming together for this purpose. Somehow or other remind ourselves that the key purpose of our life is not self-realization. Before was key purpose of life was self-gratification, and now it is self-realization. And for that sake, somehow or other we should optimize things for that sake. And always the material world is quite promising. The material world is, it just says that you're so nice a devotee. Maybe little more material activity, if you do nothing wrong will happen. So, and the material nature will keep convincing like that. And devotees will keep telling, no, like we should do Shravanam Kirtanam, we should do devotion service. That's the prime thing. Somehow or other we should attain the lotus feet of the Lord. So that is our prime thing. So we should not get deviated. So because there is constant preaching and constant influence of material nature is there, so we also need to have constant reminder that this is self-realization is the ultimate goal of life. So that is very essential. And here, this Vedic system was such that, so like everyone were doing their roles, the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, so everybody were doing their roles, and everybody were very respectful to the sadhus because they are full-time engaged in the pursuits of self-realization, and their only purpose is to remind others about self-realization, right? So when the sadhus deviate from this track, so then they are no more a sadhu, right? So sadhu means like who's very much interested in his own self-realization, and then he is helping other people to remind, like remember this ultimate goal of life. So here Nanda Maharaj, taking advantage of the presence of a sadhu, like he's actually inquiring about self-realization. That's a very nice this one. Like and then it is mentioned that so generally like the householders are very much busy in executing their household activities. It becomes sometimes this activity of self-realization takes a secondary step in their life. So because of that, they must again and again associate with sadhus. That is mentioned. So then Nanda Maharaj actually is telling to Garga Muni, so that you are a very great person in astrological science. There is various sciences that are there in the Vedic system. So these are all meant for the benefit of common people. So the common people in general, so they don't know like how to actually conduct themselves. So like these sciences are very essential. So one of the sciences is astrological science. So one devotee was mentioning, so in every village there used to be one astrologer, and the villagers would go and like consult him, which kind of crop we should put, and what kind of can we expect rain at this point in time, what kind of things will be there. So and they would take good advice of the astrologer, and they would do this one. So it is like it's a very natural this one, and these kind of experts like medical expert would be there, and astrological expert would be there. So all these experts would be there. So in a small village, all these personalities would be there, and they would take advantage of this. And here, Nanda Maharaj is like wanting to take advantage of Gargamuni. He is not just an ordinary astrological person. No, he is a very very expert astrological person. And during his presence, like he wanted to take advantage of that, and he want to have the Namkaran ceremony. He want to have the this one samskara performed through a nice Brahmana. So like samskaras are performed like it is here. It is mentioned that like it is accepting or like performing samskara to a Brahmana. It is almost like accepting him as the guru. So like in this way, the this one. The karma kanda rituals, like whoever is doing Upanayana samskara and Namkaran samskara and all, so they are also all on the position of the guru. And here Nanda Maharaj is telling that every child, it is very essential that after their birth, they should have these samskaras performed, and it is quite very necessary. And here he is addressing that you are a very Brahma Vida. Brahma Vida means like you are a knower of Brahman or you are knower of Supreme Lord. You are a self-realized soul, and somehow or other, you by good fortune you have come here. So please do this Namakarna ceremony, for my boys. That's how he is actually asking. And then Gardamani is telling that so like Vasudeva has actually sent me for this purpose only. He has sent me to do the Namkaran for these two children, and like why he has to send. So then naturally doubt will come now. Why Vasudeva has to send? What is his relationship? How he knows things over here? What's happening? And from the perspective of Nanda Maharaj. So it is basically like nothing to do with Vasudeva. Na? It is all children of Nanda Maharaj. Nothing to do with Vasudeva. Why is he sending the astrologer here? Yeah? So Balram is still considered to be son of Vasudeva. So in that pretext, he is sending, and but he is more interested in Krishna, equally interested in Balram, but not specifically interested in Krishna also. So in that way, like there is no doubt over here. So Nanda Maharaj would think that okay, this is like Vasudeva is thinking about his son, and he has sent, and I will take advantage for my son also. But actually, it's like both are sons of Vasudeva, and that will be told by Gargamuni here. Now he actually tells that you see like this according to this calculation. So this child is ideally, it is supposed to be like Devaki's son, and because astrologers can very easily predict all these things, they can see all these things, and he tells that so he should be named as first he is naming Balaram. Okay, before even naming, like he's actually mentioning that. So, like I have come for this purpose of naming. So, but then if I do this samskara, so already Kamsa is actually searching for the children, like who's searching for that child who will actually kill him. And if I perform this samskara, I am the priest of Edu dynasty. So he will get very clear indication that this is that son. He will again, directly target. Rather than what is that? Spreading his energy everywhere in finding which is the child. He will just put all his energy in one point. So I don't want to be, the cause of this calamity. So I don't want to do this thing. So then Nanda Maharaj is telling that you see that the most important thing is performance of samskara. So like great pomp and like big festivity and all these things, that is not very important. So we must take advantage of your holy presence, and you should only like do this namkaran, and we will do it very secretly. And they take the children to the Goshala and they perform the namkaran there. So here we can actually see that these personalities are very 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 well educated and very like deep in their devotion. So they know the essential aspects. Sometimes like people, when they want to do some samskara and some nice opportunity of senior devotees are there. So but still like नहीं ऐसा कैसे कर सकते हैं, like हम लोग big festival करना चाहिए and things like that. And here we see the importance is not going for the big festivity. It's a very important samskara. And he is a Nanda Maharaj is the leader of the cowherd community over there. ऐसा कैसा like गौशाला में कर दिया, So he is not thinking in that way. So he is thinking that no, the holy presence of a sadhu should be utilized, and the samskara has to be performed in his presence. So that was given importance. Like, no, this is very nice calculation actually he made. And then like here Gargamuni is naming, like first he is naming the Balaram. So he is the eldest one. He is the son of Rohini, and he is well known as the son of Vasudeva, because Rohini is wife of Vasudeva. So here, he is mentioned as Rama. The first name of Balaram that is given is Rama. So Rama means like one who would give pleasure to his relatives, pleasure to his family members and relatives. So Rama, Ramana means like it is no one who gives pleasure. And then the second name that he gives is, so he will possess extraordinary strength, and because of which he will be called as Baladeva. So this is the second name that is given. And third name is, it is because your family and the family of Yadus are so intimately connected and attracted, his name will be Sankarshana. What is this logic? What is the logic here? Because both the families will be intimately connected. So that's why his name is Sankarshana. So the previous logics to samajh mein aaya ki like, so he'll offer pleasure, so his name is Rama, and he'll have extraordinary strength, so he is Balarama, so or Baladeva. So but then Sankarshana means what? So Sankarshana means, so Karshati or Akarshana or Karshati means to pull, to attract. No? So in this one, when Mother Yashoda is churning, there is the word that is used as Rujva Akarsha. No? Rujva Akarsha or Karshati, some word, Rujva Akarsha. It is used like that. So Akarsha means to pull also, to attract and these things. Right? So Sankarshana, he actually will bring both the families together. He is the connecting link between both the families. So like he will bring both the families together. So that's why he's called Sankarshana. And one more reason, the first chapter itself is there, Sankarshana. What is this one? Why does it name Sankar? No, already Krishna has did the Namkarana of Balram even before Balram has taken birth. No, he speaks to Yogamaya. So at that time he did this thing. So he gives one reason. No, why he will be named as Sankarshana? Why he will be named as Sankarshana? Yeah. So he is attracted from the womb of Devaki to womb of Rohini. So because of that Karshati, he is called as Sankarshana. So again, so like many reasons are there, and many other reasons are also there for the name Sankarshana. So this means that Gargamuni awarded 3 names to the son of Rohini, that is namely Balaram, Sankarshana, and Baladev. So he named Rama, Baladeva, and Sankarshana. So all these 3 names were given. And so even then, he did not disclose that Balram is actually son of Devaki, and Krishna and Balram are real brothers. So this thing, he did not disclose to Nanda Maharaj. So then after that, he mentions about Krishna. So that's also a very nice portion. So as far as your son is concerned, that is like here, son of Vasudeva is Balram, and your son is Krishna. So like that. So the context is like that. So this child has taken different bodily complexions in different yugas. Now, first of all, he has assumed the color of white, Sveta, and then color of red, Rakka, and then the color of yellow, Pita. And now he has assumed the color of black. So besides that, he was formerly the son of Vasudeva. Therefore, his name should be Vasudeva. Here he has mentioned very clearly. Formerly, he was son of Vasudeva. So there is like when even before this, there is little more clear indication was given, so that like according to the astrological calculation, like Vasudeva is supposed to have a male child, and this is that male child, and you actually got the female child, and it was exchanged. All these things were told, right? So, but here it is even more clearly emphasized that his name will be Vasudeva. So Vasudeva's son is Vasudeva. So many times devotees, when Krishna's name is there, Vasudeva, so still they read Vasudeva. That is the father's name. So it should be pronounced as Vasudeva, right? So and some people will call him as Krishna also, and some will chant or some will call him Vasudeva. So these 2 names will be there. But one thing you must know: this son has many other names and activities due to his different pastimes. So like this is like he will have many other names, and one name he is telling that he'll be called as Giridhari because of lifting Govardhan hill. So that is also pre-told. So in this way, like he's mentioning all these different names, and then he's mentioning that see, like this child will protect you from all kinds of dangers. And he has in the past also he has did this thing. Whenever there is some danger, he will protect. And then he will become as powerful as Lord Narayana. When he grows up, and you should protect him very nicely, and you should take care of him very nicely. So this is what is actually he's mentioning, and. He is mentioning that there will be a lot of disturbances, and you should somehow or other take care of him. And when he grows up, he will protect from all the calamities that actually comes. So in this way, like he gives all these details of the children, and then he gives the names, and he actually departs. So then after that, it is nice pastimes are mentioned about after short time. So Krishna and Balram, they started crawling on their knees and hands, and then when they were doing this thing, so the mother would put nice chandan and nice shringar and things like that. So but then these kids would go and they would play in the mud, and like the whole body will become muddy. And so when they come back, like their mothers would very gladly they would take the children, and they would wash them, and they would take care of them nicely. And when they were drinking milk, when the children would approach for drinking milk, so the mothers would see that the small teeth that is coming in the child's mouth, and when they see that, they would feel that the children are growing very nicely, so they would feel very happy. So here we can see ordinarily also, like small children are quite attractive. Ordinarily the children's activities are quite very attractive, and it is whenever, like one time I had gone to a devotee's house, and then he was telling, I saw that the child was doing some small pranks and things like that. So, and I just appreciated, so cute the child is. And then the devotee told Prabhuji, for some time it will be cute only. If you have to be there for the whole day, then you will actually understand. So, and actually, in fact, it happened that I told Hariksetra, and the child actually smiled, and then did some, what is that, like some kind of reaction that it gave. I felt very good. So, and then it was that small time, for little time it is very nice only. After that, it will not be nice. So, but then with Krishna, it is not like that. So the mothers are never tired of taking care of Krishna. So they are always, very nicely taking care of Krishna. And both Yashoda and Rohini, so they would enjoy this childhood pastimes of Krishna very nicely. And sometimes what they would do, so like they would crawl and they would go into the Goshala, and they would catch hold of the tail of a calf, and the calf will run thither and thither, and they would also be dragged in the mud of Vrindavan. So this is also very amazing opulence of the Vrindavan. So we see that in other places, the other places are glorified because of the Lord's appearance there, because of some pastime of the Lord over there and things like that. So, but it is described that Krishna, he likes to be touched by the dust of Vrindavan. He likes to roam around in Vrindavan. He likes, it even gives pleasure to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So many other dhams, they actually become dhams because the Lord happened to come there, because some Muni did some tapasya and Lord appeared there, or Lord appeared in some deity form and things like that. Because the Lord appeared there, the place became holy. So, but here we see that the place itself is so attractive to the Supreme Lord. The Lord is attracted by the beauty of this Vrindavan. The Lord is attracted by the dust of the Vrindavan. So he likes to be in touch with this very great place. So this is a place which actually offers pleasure to Krishna very nicely. Right? So now here we see that after a short time, so they became little more grown up, and they started standing on their legs and walking a little bit on their legs and things like that. So okay, so when they were doing all these things, so like Yashoda and Mother Rohini, so they are very great devotees, and example of very exalted devotees, right? So in fact, Krishna actually mentions the greatest of all the devotees are the residents of Vrindavan. So, like we have problems when we as aspiring devotees, when we do our sadhana, Now, when we do our chanting, so our mind wanders. We are like not able to be in one focus and things like that. So, what is the state of Mother Yashoda and Rohini? They are our role models. We have to follow them, right? So, it is mentioned that Krishna and Balaram were so restless. So they were always doing so many pranks. They were so restless that their mothers, Yashoda and Rohini, would try to protect them from cows, bulls, monkeys, water, fire, birds, and all these things. So while they were executing their household duties, so always being anxious to protect their children and to execute their duties, they were not very tranquil. So they were always in anxiety and disturbed. So this doesn't mean that we also can be disturbed. So this is next level of disturbance. It's a different level of disturbance. So like first, our level of disturbance is disturbed by material things. So then next level is higher level than this is material peace. There is peace and there is control and there is like no disturbance in the mind and things like that. And the highest level is that being disturbed by the activities of Krishna. So and they are not able to take their mind off. Like if something is just like some material thing is there. I don't want to be distracted by that. But if that material thing again and again it comes in front of us, then we get again and again reminded of it, right? So the ultimate goal of life is to remember Krishna. So just to remember Krishna is okay. But if Krishna is doing so many pranks and I have to control them, so then it becomes intense remembrance of Krishna, right? So this kind of anxiety is very good, because they are intensely remembering the Supreme Lord. So it is very, very nice actually. So in external sense or in external observation, it is mentioned they were not very tranquil. But then it is the highest perfection of tranquility to always remember Krishna, right? So like generally, like when we go to yoga sessions, sometimes like people actually say that forget about these things, like, and sometimes they do this some kind of cyclic meditation and different kinds of things are there. So like where they make people lie down and then one thing which I liked about that was, so they tell that, no, you are not the body. No, you should understand you are not the body. Now you should understand you are not the head. So relax and give control of, you are trying to control this head. You give up the control. You are trying to control this hand, you give up the control. Till that portion, it was nice actually. They are actually giving us this one that you are not the body, but they didn't tell you are the soul. That's the problem. So at least this much they told like you are not the body. So like we see that, and there the focus of tranquility is focused upon, like your mind should be vacated of all the thoughts. So but here the focus of tranquility is that we should think of Krishna, we should meditate on Krishna, and we should not deviate our mind from the thoughts of Krishna. And if such things are happening, like Krishna and Balaram are there, and all the time they are doing something, they are going and pulling off the calf and getting in, like going to touch fire and things like that. So how can anybody forget? So it is like so intensely they will, and it is mentioned that Krishna is such a demanding lover. It's not that the Sanki, like you have so many other responsibilities. You give little time to him, you give little time to them, and then you give little time to me also. No, not like that. Krishna will demand, when I am there, how can you give time to anybody else? You focus on me. You cannot focus on anyone else. And that's how, like the next pastime that comes is that, Krishna's this one, that, what is it, Damodar Leela. So there, when mother goes to put off the, like take care of the milk, Krishna is so angry. Like when I am there now, how can you go to attend to somebody else? Like it is not possible. So and he does this pranks like this. So when our ultimate goal is to be absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, and if Krishna determines that no, you should not think of anything else, like then what they can do, they cannot think of anything else. So like Mother Yashoda and Rohini were like that, very forcibly made to think of Krishna, right? So in that way, like they were very intensely remembering Krishna. So then after that, it is a nice passage. I would like to read this thing. This is the complaint, that the elderly gopis that they would bring in front of Mother Yashoda. All the gopi friends of Yashoda and Rohini enjoyed the naughty childhood activities of Krishna and Balaram in Vrindavan. In order to enjoy further transcendental bliss, they all assembled and went to Mother Yashoda to lodge complaint against the restless boys. So when Krishna was sitting before Mother Yashoda, and that too, like their whole pleasure is like somehow or other, what is that? Entice Krishna or incite Krishna. So in different ways they will do different things. So when Krishna was there sitting next to Mother Yashoda, and as like as he can hear, so they are going and complaining against this one. And like when small children, when they hear complaints about them, what they will do? Huh? What is it? Hide behind the mother. No, sometimes they will fight also. આજકાલ the children, they will nicely fight her. How can you tell like that? No, I did not do like this. Things like that. And no, I've seen one place that somebody came and told something about the child, and the child suddenly started beating the mother. No, I thought mother will beat child. No, ये तो उल्टा हो रहा है. So, but here Krishna is a very nice boy, because he never does any pranks, and he gives a different kind of reaction here. So he says that okay. So Krishna was sitting before Mother Yashoda, and all the elderly gopis began to lodge complaint against him, so that Krishna could hear. So they said, "Dear Yashoda, why don't you restrict your naughty Krishna? He comes to our houses along with Balram every morning and evening, and before milking the cows, he lets loose the calf, and the calves drink all the milk of the cows. So when we go to milk, there is no milk. So like we just return with empty pots." And then if we warn Krishna and Balram about doing this, they simply smile charmingly that we cannot do anything. So if they smile, like we are clean bowled. So there was one case, like one person, he was staying next to ISKCON temple, and every day they would do this Mangalarti early in the morning, and this guy would get so much disturbed because of this Mangalarti sound. So he would go to complain. He would go to fight with them. And they would give some nice Mangalarti sweet, gulab jamun, rasmalai, and things like that. He would eat and come back. He cannot complain. So like that, here also. So they want to chastise Krishna, but when he smiles, so it is mentioned that, like in one of the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned, when Krishna smiles, that is the sum total of all the illusion. Nobody can stand in front of Krishna's smile. He'll forget of everything. So that is the power of Krishna's smile. So here they are telling, like, we are getting lost, we are not getting our milk, and if we try to chastise, we are not able to chastise. At least you chastise. So like that. And also your Krishna and Balram find great pleasure in stealing our stock of yogurt and butter from wherever we keep it. When Krishna and Balram are caught stealing the yogurt and butter, they say, "Why do you charge us with stealing? Do you think that butter and yogurt is in scarcity in our house? So we are sons of Nanda Maharaj. Like, we have so much stock. So, and why will we come and steal in your house?" Like that. And do you think that butter and yogurt are in scarcity in our house? Sometimes they steal butter, yogurt, milk, and do not take and distribute them to the monkeys. And when the monkeys become their stomachs have become full, so then they will throw off the butter and yogurt, saying that even monkeys are not accepting it. What kind of butter it is? It's useless. So it is like stealing and then giving Varnam also. So like that. So, and if we keep our stock of yogurt, butter, and milk in a solitary dark place, your Krishna and Balram finds it in the darkness also, because of their glaring ornaments and jewels that are there in their bodies. If by chance they cannot find the hidden butter and yogurt, they go to our little babies and pinch their bodies and make them cry. So and then they go away. So if out of fear of these naughty boys, we keep our stock of butter and yogurt high on the ceiling, hanging on a string, although it is beyond their reach, they arrange to reach it by piling all kinds of different wooden planks, and they somehow or other reach it. And if they cannot reach, they make a hole in the pot. So, and throw something and make a hole in the pot. So we think, therefore, you should better take off all the jeweled ornaments in their bodies. So that's what is the nice. It is in the court and all when we go. So there is something that the case you have to describe, and finally you have to give a prayer. Prayer means what call to action that you want, right? So in the same way, like they are putting a big complaint, and they are also putting call to action. What is the action? Please remove all the ornaments from their bodies. And Mother Yashoda says, "Itna hi hai na, like kar dengi." So then they say, no, like what is the use? These are different kind of children. They have natural effulgence in their body. Even if you remove, anyway they will find. So फिर तो like no, there is no solution only. No, what solution is there to do? So then Mother Yashoda just tells that he like no, she actually sees Krishna. Krishna is like very pitiable face, like very sorry and very pitiable face, like he's he's sitting in very what is that? Already he's feeling very bad and things like that. So Mother Yashoda was not feeling like chastising him. So and then she just told the gopis like, no, you keep your butter very safely and no, you take care of yourself. In that way, like she sent them off. So it is nice to read actually. Um, so when Mother Yashoda thought to chastise her boy after hearing all the complaints, she saw his pitiable face and smiling, she did not chastise him. Right? So this is what happened. So then after that, the next time, this another nice incident that actually happens. So when Krishna and Balram were playing with their friends, so all the boys joined Balram and complained to Mother Yashoda that Krishna had eaten clay. On hearing this, Mother Yashoda caught hold of Krishna's hand and said, "My dear Krishna, why have you eaten no earth in a solitary place? Just see, all your friends, including Balram, are complaining about you." So previous time, no, Yashoda Maya did not take so seriously and she did not chastise. And now, no, she immediately caught hold of Krishna and she is chastising. No, what is the reason? Huh? Balram also is complaining. Okay, so anything else? Elderly gopis are much more reliable source of information. Huh? So like when they were giving information, so that time she did not chastise. Huh? This will affect Krishna's health if he eats mud. So they were like so much concerned of Krishna actually. No, so and she actually became like this time like she was chastising Krishna. And Krishna was very much afraid of mother. And then he tells that you see like today in the play like we had some disagreement. All the like even Balram and me also had some disagreement, and he joined with other people. And he is actually complaining against me. Actually, I did not eat any clay, right? So the Supreme Lord has a name called Absolute Truth. Can the Absolute Truth speak some lies? Is it possible that Absolute Truth speaks lies? Huh? It is expected that devotees of the Lord must maintain truthfulness, honesty, integrity, and things like that. So, how can the Lord inspire truthfulness if He Himself is speaking lies? Huh? So, in actual sense, they are still truth. How? So, because all the ingredients later on, Krishna will show that all the ingredients of all he is not just eating one drop of mud. All the mud in the whole universe is there within his body only. What he will eat. So it is a nice thing that is mentioned in the in Srimad Bhagavatam in glorification of the Lord. It is mentioned that it is actually in glorification of the great personalities, great sadhus. So it also applies to the Supreme Lord. So it is mentioned that Atma Ramascha Manayo Nirganthe Api Urukrama Purvanti Ahitukin Bhaktin Ittam Bhuta Gunohari. So this is like in connection with Shukadev Goswami. So when Shukadev Goswami is like attracted to the descriptions of Krishna's pastimes, so Shukadev Goswami like immediately after he took birth, he went to the forest. He did not stay back at home. So and he was not at all attracted to anything material. But then, Vyasadeva, like he sent his disciples, like these children or this Shukadev Goswami is not. I have not performed samskaras. He also had the same tension actually. I have not performed samskara for this boy, and he has gone away. Like I have not done my duty. If he comes back and if I can do my duty, and then if he goes, like it's not a problem. I have not done my duty towards him. I have to do it. So then, what is this one in which like the way in which actually he reclaims, Shukadev Goswami, he tells his disciples to go and recite Srimad Bhagavatam. And the shlokas of Srimad Bhagavatam, when they were recited, so Shukadev Goswami got attracted to it. And he came back and asked, what you people are reciting? It is like, it is not possible that I get attracted to anything material. I'm not at all attracted to anything material. But things that you are reciting is something that is attracting me like anything. So in that context, this one actually comes that Atma Ramaschamanaya Nirganthe Api Urukrama Purvanti Ahitukin Bhaktin Ittam Bhuta Gunohari. So even a person who is Atma Rama, even a person who is self-satisfied, he doesn't require any external impetus to satisfy himself. the pastimes of the Supreme Lord or the descriptions that are mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam are so nectarian, it will attract even those people, right? So that is this one. So like when we apply this word Atmarama, no, to Lord Krishna, so that is a perfect application because no, Krishna doesn't have any external need from anywhere to get, and there is no external source also. No, first of all, there must be some source. So there is no external source because everything that exists is part and parcel of Krishna. Nothing that is there outside of Krishna. No, what he will, no, what he can possibly like, no, take from outside. No, it is not possible. Right? So in that way, like Krishna is philosophically answering that. No, philosophically, anything that Krishna answers, becomes truth because all contradictions are resolved in Krishna because everything is part and parcel of Krishna. So in that way, so our Krishna has not spoken lies, and we should also not speak lies. So that's very essential. Otherwise, no, like sometimes people say, no, क्या है, like आपका भगवान ही झूठ बोल रहे हैं, like झूठ बोलने में क्या है? So we should not get into that way of such this ones. So like. So we should always follow the dharmic principles, and that's why the pastimes of the Lord are considered to be PhD subject. So dharmic principles are established, and then after that devotional principles are established, and after that, when the devotional principles are hampered, so then the dharmic principles can be overruled. So when people study about the overruling, especially by the Supreme Lord, so then sometimes it may inspire other this ones like okay, we can also speak lies. No, then that is a very wrong conclusion actually. So the right way is like we put the right thing first. The foundation is dharmic principles, and on top of it the devotional principles, and then on top of it we have when the devotional principles are hampered. So then only we should actually go against the dharmic principles. Otherwise, we should never overrule the dharmic principles, right? So that is a very, very essential point. So like when there is a need of when there is when executing a higher or when implementing a higher rule. So if a lower rule is becoming an obstacle in implementing the higher rule, so then the lower rule can be avoided. So otherwise, the lower rule always must be followed. So all the rules will always must be followed. So only when there is an exception, then we can actually overrule them. So that's a very important thing. So because like we may relish the pastime of Krishna, speaking this kind of like pranks and things like that. So but then if we try to follow, so like somebody was mentioning that Bhagwan kare to leela, hum kare to character leela. So like that. So it is when Lord performs, it's a pastime. When he runs away from the battlefield, it's a pastime. It's glorified. And when he steals butter, Makanchor, it's a pastime. And when we steal, it is jail. So it is something different. So Krishna, he owns everything, and after owning everything, he wants to have the rasa of stealing. So that's okay. Like he's the owner. We don't own anything. So in Bhakti Shastri, we will study that Ishavasham idam sarvam mitkincham jagatyam jagam. Everything is owned and controlled by the Lord. So then when we steal, then that is not pastime. That is like so that is not, yeah, that is time pass or like time waste. So we should not do that thing. So now here, then Mother Yashoda is like so much in anxiety. She's actually telling that so if you're telling truth, then open your mouth. Let me see. So at that time, Balram, he knows the capacity of Krishna. This guy has opened his mouth. Now he'll put mother into illusion. So and we see that like Mother Yashoda, like she's seeing the entire cosmic creation within the mouth of Krishna. All the different directions, mountains, islands, oceans, and all these things. So like sometimes we can see that the mother is thinking that like कितना मट्टी का है पूरा दुनिया भर का मट्टी खा लिया. So then she's seeing all these different things, and then she's thinking that maybe I'm becoming mad, I'm getting deranged and things like that, or she's thinking that maybe it is like the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord is acting upon me. And then sometimes she's thinking that also like, no, who am I? Like I'm just a normal corporate lady. why should the Supreme Lord take so much trouble to put illusion on me? And then she is thinking in philosophical way, thinking that she is thinking in one sense like that. Maybe this is my child's mystic power and things like that. And then she starts, thinking in philosophical way. Maybe like, no, I'm just in bodily consciousness. I'm thinking Nanda Maharaj as my husband and Krishna as my child. This is all illusion. No, for us this can be illusion. No, our children can be illusion. Our husband can be illusion. But for Yashoda, it is reality. This is the ultimate reality. So Krishna is known as son of Nanda Maharaj. Krishna is known as son of Yashoda Maya, right? So one time, like when one person, like he was having not very much good understanding of Krishna and Krishna's holy name, and he wanted to describe about Krishna's holy name to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like in a humble way, he wanted to like evade the discussion, and he told, "See, I don't want to understand different meanings of holy name, and I don't even know also. I know only one thing. Krishna is son of Yashoda Maya. That's all I know. So nothing else I know, and I don't want to know anything else also. And this is the absolute truth. And here we see that, like if Mother Yashoda starts thinking this is illusion, that's the biggest illusion actually. So like, then Krishna actually thinks, this is getting counterproductive. So this whole pastime is getting counterproductive. So like, I am so much eager to like receive the service of Mother Yashoda, and now Mother Yashoda is thinking that her affection towards me is illusion. What's the point? Like, it should not happen. So then Krishna again actually puts Yogamaya into action, and then again Mother Yashoda thinks, no, this is my little baby, and then she starts caring for him and starts showing affection towards him. So in this way, like there are many wonderful pastimes that actually happens, and we see that these pastimes, like one, there are a few important prerequisites that are needed, for relishing these pastimes. So otherwise, we may relish these pastimes on a mundane level, because any child does any pranks, that gives some joy. So, like without understanding of Krishna, so we may get some joy like that. But if we understand Krishna properly, so then we will get deeper, like bliss, that is in Krishna consciousness. So the importance is, like Srila Prabhupada is always stressed upon that we must study, all the, first of all, we must study Bhagavad Gita, and we must study all the, cantos, previous cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. So where the supreme capacity or the lordship of the Lord is very nicely described, and how powerful and great He is. And when a great person does some nice pastimes, then that becomes like very attractive. So, and then that becomes actually like we can actually appreciate the whole transactions that is actually happening. So otherwise, the pastimes of the Lord, as I always mention, it is a PhD subject. So we can only understand to the extent that we are allowed to understand. So more and more we actually advance in our devotion service, the more deeper aspects of the pastimes we can actually understand. So like here also one small section is covered. So Vasudeva and Devaki, they were the actual parents of Krishna, and Krishna and Balaram. So but then now Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, so they are actually getting the opportunity to witness the childhood pastimes of Krishna. So why is so? So like one thing that is mentioned is that Drona and Dara, so like they had performed tapasya and they wanted to have this childhood pastimes. So they wanted to be absorbed in the childhood pastimes of Krishna. And later in the 11th canto of Bhagavatam, we will see that Vasudev is actually condemning himself. He's actually like pitying, or not pitying, basically condemning himself. That I only wanted a son like the Supreme Lord, and the Lord became a son when he went off. No, so but then this one like Drona and Dara, they had prayed for like becoming absorbed in the thoughts of the Lord. So then they were given opportunity to be there, like to witness the childhood pastimes of Krishna. So this is a nice this one. So like the prayers, what kind of prayers actually we make, that also is very important. So like we should pray that we should be absorbed in the thoughts of the Lord. That is the prayer that we need to have. So we should not pray for something that is like momentarily Lord will give and finish it off. As a formula हमको नहीं चाहिए. Like we should pray for such a thing that Lord will come and He will never go. So such thing is very much needed. So like they want to be absorbed in the thoughts of the Lord. So like we should also pray in such a way that we may be absorbed in the thoughts of the Lord. We may be absorbed in hearing the names of the Lord, chanting the names of the Lord, and studying Srimad Bhagavatam and meditating on the various aspects of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's the benediction that we want, with every activity that we do, every service that we do. So this is what we pray, that O Krishna, if you are pleased with the service, please award me like nice absorption in chanting your names. Please award me nice focus and nice absorption in the descriptions of your pastimes and your descriptions in Srimad Bhagavatam. Right. So this is what the benediction that we want. So with this, I pause. Any questions, comments we can take. Yes, please.
You mentioned while the Namkaran was going on, they described that Krishna had taken white, red, yellow, and black color now. So, what are the different avatars of Krishna?
Okay, so white. What is the white avatar? I remember as a Hamsa, but then still not verified it. And the red one is the incarnation of Yajna, I suppose. And then the yellow one is the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and black is Krishna. So like this is the Yuga avatars in the different Yugas, like they actually appear.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared after Krishna. So, is it previous Kalpa?
Yeah, it goes on a cycle, no? So if it is time is 1 o'clock, so we can safely say it is before it was 12 o'clock also, because it is like in cyclic, it will happen. And also in every yugas, this color is maintained. Even if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't come, some yellow avatar comes. Yes.
You mentioned that Balram has given 3 names. Similarly, Krishna has given Vasudeva and Krishna. So my question is like, how many names you can give?
Unlimited.
So you can give any number of names in kind of Namkara.
Oh, how many names we should give to our children? And that depends on the horoscope of the children.
Nobody gives like that. You can give.
So right now what's happening is at best the starting letter is told. So but here we see that the astrologers were much more qualified. So they can actually deduce, they can actually understand the activities of the children. So if we see the Parikshit Maharaj's Namkaran, so there it is very nicely mentioned. This child will keep the name of the dynasty. He will be a very valiant warrior, and he will be very dharmic, and he will do these activities. All the things is mentioned in the beginning only. And when Maharaj Prithu, like he did not have childhood and things like that. No, he born, and when he was born, like he was born out of churning of the thighs of King Vena. And when he appeared, so then the learned Brahmanas, they could immediately understand what all these activities will be. So that is the capacity of the astrologers at that point in time. And they would give the names according to their activities. Names were appropriate and meaningful. So now sometimes like we name children as Balram and wo thoda patla dubla ho gaya. So we don't know like what to name. So we just simply name, like first letter is there according to the astrological system, and based on that some devotional name which can remind us of Krishna. So like that we can name.
And the sanskara, whatever you say, Namkaran sanskara. So which date actually you should perform it?
Which date it should be
After the birth.
After the birth. I am not very expert in the samskaras. Maybe like
We have book samskara.
we have samskara book is there. So PDF or like in the gift shop. Oh, okay, the gift shop we have samskara book. It seems we can pick it up. But then you should follow that in the guidance of some devotee. Like we should not simply read and follow. So we should follow that in the guidance of some senior devotees.
Should we name the child based on the nakshatra? That's the general practice correctly. We name the child based on the nakshatra. But if you see Mahabharata and Ramayana, none of them were named or based on the nakshatra. Like even Krishna, Rohini nakshatra. It should be Wo or Ba or something like that. And Balram, Rama, even Drona. Drona is a name of just a bowl made up of a leaf or something. You take any name, it's not based on nakshatra. So when did this book start?
I did not know when this thing started. So, but then in the Vedic style of naming is more like their activities, based on their activities. So, what kind of activities they will do. In one place, Prabhupada gives a very funny comment saying that somebody is given the name Padma Lochana and he is blind. So that kind of naming should not be done. So it should be somewhat appropriate and things like that. So yeah, the naming based on the aksharas, the first letter and things like that, even I don't know of. Maybe this is the, no, in the Vedic style, there is the best possible way and the second best possible way and third best possible way and things like that. Maybe it could be like that. So we can do some research and let you know sometime later.
Can you please explain once again regarding that higher rule and lower rule? The dharmic rules and devotional rules, you said. I couldn't understand that.
Yeah, so dharmic rules, what is the general dharmic rules? Being truthful, being honest, and being compassionate, and like what is that? So these are all like the dharmic rules. So like, and thinking of the welfare of others, and so these rules, which are there, like these qualities, we can tell in terms of qualities also, and the rules also. So these dharmic rules are meant to like the purpose of the dharmic rules are like conditioned living entities when they come into this material world. So the resources are limited, and all of us want to exploit the natural resources. And when this thing is there, so then the dharmic rules are put in such a way that there can be peace and tranquility in this one. So, but then ultimate rule is what? Ultimate rule is that we have to become Krishna conscious and we have to attain the lotus feet of the Lord. And when executing that rule, so this lower rule actually has to be overruled. So just like when if there is a one way and there is CM is coming, so for him one way will not apply. So the one way is cancelled for that day. And if there is some big event is happening over there, and that is a very important event, and for that the police may reroute the traffic. That time they may make one way as two way also. So like that. So these things may happen. So like the lower rules, like even in the this one in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita also, this particular thing happens that Arjuna is talking about the Dharma Shastra and Artha Shastra and things like that. So that killing of the relatives is not good, and especially like killing what is that? What are the reasons he gives for the killing of relatives is not good?
He'll go to hell.
He'll go to hell if we kill these aggressors and things like that and all. So, but then, like Krishna is mentioning that it is a higher principle. Like he mentions all the different this ones. Like if you see on the level of just in terms of your own if your own prestige. So like as a Kshatriya, like nobody will think that you have gone outside of the battle, feeling compassion towards these people. So they will tell that you are covered, so you have gone out. And on the contrary, if you fight, you will actually get this one of if you fight and if you die also, like you will be honored as a great Kshatriya. So he tells on that level. And then the next level he tells us that so in terms of karma, in terms of karma is that if you fight and if you die, you will go to heavenly planets. And if you fight and if you win, you will enjoy the earthly kingdom. But if you don't fight, so like a Kshatriya who doesn't accept the challenge of this one, so he is actually condemned. So he is not following his Kshatriya principles. So then he's not going to get any happiness in this life or in the next life. It becomes sinful. So at every level there is different rules are there, and then in the devotional rule is like if Krishna wants, so then it must be done. There is like we cannot cite Krishna that this rule is there, that rule is there. We have to like Krishna's will becomes like the ultimate this one. So like the higher principle is devotional principle. So in that way, like we see that when the lower rule actually comes in the way of executing a higher rule, so then we actually overrule that particular this one. Otherwise we should not. We should generally not overrule that.
Yeah, that's what it is. Accept the dharmic rules is accepting. I mean, it is supportive to the devotional rule. Then we can take it, or otherwise we can overrule it.
Yeah. So in general, it will be in line. In general, there will not be exceptions. So when there is exception, we should overrule. Like that.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Generally, the dharmic principles will help devotional service. So generally, telling truth will help devotional service. So, but then when some place it needs to be like overruled. So just like Sanatan Goswami, he was telling a lie, to the king that I'm sick. Actually, he was not sick. So telling a lie is a big adharma actually. It is mentioned that Mother Earth can tolerate even the weight of big mountains, but he cannot. Mother Earth cannot tolerate a liar. The weight of a liar. So, but then here, a great Acharya Sanatan Goswami, he is telling a lie. Saying that I'm sick, and he is sitting and studying Srimad Bhagavatam. At home. So how is it possible? Like, this is not at all acceptable. So, but then here there is a higher rule that is there. So he knows that it's time to go and meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come. It's time to withdraw from his worldly activities have come. And then the king will not understand. If he wants to prepare for this, king will not understand. So at this point in time, he had to speak a lie. So it's a calculative this one. So in general, if a devotee speaks a lie, he will regress in his devotional service. But then if there is a need that is there and he is doing that, not just like Sanatan Goswami, so then it will not affect his devotional service. Rather, it will enhance his devotional service. Right? So that's why I am stressing upon this point, because taking these examples, like sometimes devotees also become careless, saying that no, devotional principles are more important. Leave away dharmic principles. We will not stand in any red signal. We will not speak. Whenever we want, we'll speak a lie. Whenever we want, speak truth. Whatever we want, we will do. Devotion is what is important. No, that is not the right thing. So unnecessarily, if we do adharma, so then that will affect our devotional service. Right? So we should be cautious about it. That's why I'm stressing on this.
Actually, in some situations, we are not able to understand which one to follow. So at that time, what to do?
So better to follow the dharmic principles. Better follow the dharmic principles, because and then perform devotional service. And if it is completely incompatible, so then we can consult with our superiors. So they may advise us in a particular way. And as we advance in devotional service, we will we know the importance of these elements. We know the gravity of doing an adharma. So then after that, like we will hesitate, and we will know that if I do an adharma, like what kind of reactions that it will come actually. So because ignorance is bliss, we don't know much of the gravity of performing an adharmic activity. So like and we are Kali Yuga Jivas also. Like we are born in the environment of adharma. Everybody speaks lies. Everybody if the social media is full of lies. Everywhere it is. This one is there. So it becomes quite natural. Itna jhoot bole, like me ek aur jhoot. It is not no big deal. So then it becomes a difficult this one actually. So we should know the gravity of speaking a lie or doing adharma. So then we will not do that thing, and we'll be very very cautious. Just like using a knife, to cut something. We know like what is this one of capacity of knife, and we'll be very cautiously using the knife. In the same way, overruling principles are like using knife or a sword or double-edged sword or something like that, and it should be expertly used. Otherwise, it will cut ourselves. So that's why it is very important.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for the detailed explanation. And one more point. When is Subhadra Mayi was born? Because 8 children, there is 8 children, means 7 children are born. So Krishna. And when was she was born?
Much later.
Much later, after they came out of Kamsa was killed, and after that.
Not sure.
When they were released, they went back to palace.
Okay. Vasudevan Devaki.
If I'm not wrong.
Yeah. Vasudevan Devaki, when they were released after that.
After that, okay. Thank you.
So till the time they had impetus that Krishna will come. After Krishna has come, like all their desires are fulfilled. Anybody would like to share some things that you have learned or you appreciated in the session?
Krishna, thank you very much for this very wonderful class. It's always blissful to hear these different pastimes and very nicely narrated. So the Janmashtami is coming now, and every devotee is just into that. We call that Janmashtami fever. It just started, and like previous year, this year also we are doing two major Janmashtamis, one in Panathur, one in Sarjapur, and we are also doing a community Janmashtami in Mantre. So, and all the devotees sitting here, they're all involved in Janmashtami. So, what should be our mood? Because normally in this organizing and all that, sometimes we forget about the Vaishnava etiquettes. Sometimes we just get the work done. So, what should the mood of serving on the day of Janmashtami or even before that? Now, even every day, devotees are going out for pamphlet distribution, they're collecting funds, various organizing meetings are going on, department meetings. So, what should be the mode, and what should we be aiming at? So, during this, all these different services.
Yeah. So this is a nice. This one, if you see the definition of devotional service is that Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam. So engaging all the senses in the service of the Lord. So that's the definition of devotional service, and that is nicely fulfilled in the time of Janmashtami. So because no, all of us are pressed with time. No, everybody are fully engaged nicely in the service of the Lord. But one issue that can happen. So that what is that? When our Shravanam and Kirtanam, or especially when our Shravanam goes low, so then we come into the realm of three modes of material nature, and that is when we create a lot of problems, So like it is seen that like during these times, generally like we get little less time for our sadhana, and we are not able to hear nicely or read nicely and things like that. So and then so when we are engaged in the service, so sometimes like it may happen, some bitter experiences and things like that may happen. So like that is positive is like we get lots of engagement, and the negative is like sometimes we don't get sufficient time for Shravana. And we are not very advanced devotees, like we, even though we don't do Shravanam nicely, still we can keep our mood very nicely. That is also difficult. So that's why we should steal time here and there. Somehow or other we should read a little bit or hear, and this is our lifeline. When we hear about the subject matter of Krishna, so by remembering the Lord, we actually come to the little transcendental plane. And there we can act in a little better way, actually, little better than our original nature. So we can we can act in that way. So otherwise, the three modes of nature will bound to come in action, and the many different misunderstandings and different issues are bound to come. So that is quite natural. And if it doesn't happen, so then all are Paramahamsas, like all are everybody have transcended the modes of nature, and there is no issues at all. So issues are there means it is just that we are conditioned. We are there within the clutches of three modes of nature, and we are bound to commit mistake, right? So that is why some this one, like we were studying of some qualities of civilized people. So one of the quality of a civilized person is tolerance and forgiveness. This is very much needed. One is that, yeah, like one is that even though like we may hurt other people, so that is one. This one is that we should try to see that we don't we act in such a way that we don't hurt. But still, when the modes of nature come into action, it just goes beyond our capacity. And when others happen to hurt us, so we should actually see that this is a time when intense services are happening, and there is possibility that some like what is it, some like rubbing on the bad side may happen sometimes, or like the rough edges gets rubbed against each other. So the rough edges are the modes of nature. So the devotees are nice. They have accepted Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they want to purify themselves. They want to attain the lotus feet of the Lord. So they are very nice. But then, the baggage that they are carrying is not very nice. So and that is going to create problem. So like that's why in the civilized society, there is this quality is practiced of tolerance and forgiveness. So when we are able to forgive others for their mistakes, so then there is possibility of we staying together. So like that is one reason we see that like many communities, they actually start off very nicely, they grow to a certain level, and then they divide or they become broken into pieces. Why? Because modes of material nature has to act. Because like nobody can stay together, especially in Kali Yuga. If even husband and wife stays together throughout the life, it's a big project. Big achievement, great achievement. What to speak of so many hundreds of people staying together? it's completely impossible. It's a challenge against Kali. It's a big challenge against Kali, and so many problems will come. So the thing that happens is like, when we are applying the principles of tolerance and forgiveness, so then we can actually put together. Otherwise, it is very, very difficult. We will this general. I've studied many communities. Like the general formula will happen. It will go big from small. It will become big, and then it will become too small, and then it will become big, and then it will split. So that's how it will happen. That's the general sequence of activities that happens. So, if we have to stay together, so one very important thing is, like, even whatever may be the difficulty, if you can somehow or other spend time in Shravanam. So more we do nice quality Shravanam, like Shravanam includes our chanting also, like hearing the names of the Lord clearly and nicely, and then hearing the subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam. We should read every day, and we should try to pray to Krishna that I'm going to be part of some service, and many devotees are going to be involved, and I know I have the baggage of the modes of material nature, and I know, like, my fellow devotees, like, who are serving along with me, so they also have their baggage, and it is quite impossible that everything go on nicely. It's very, very highly impossible that everything goes nicely. So please give me the right attitude. Please, you reside in my consciousness, and give me a transcendental vision. Give me a vision beyond the modes of nature. So that I can nicely serve. In your service. So in that way, like, we can do this thing, and also, like, during all these things, like, we can actually have nice prayers. We can have nice prayers to Krishna that we are doing all these things for your pleasure. And like, one thing which Krishna likes very much is if we are united. When we are united, when we serve, so Krishna likes very much. In fact, in this one of when the Prachatas, when they perform tapasya, and they are doing underwater, like 10 of them, they are doing underwater for many years. So they are doing tapasya. When Lord comes, like, generally if somebody does like that, so immediately Guinness Book of Records will reach there. Like, all congrats, that sorry, all glories to you all. You have stayed underwater for so long. It's a great achievement, right? So they may congratulate like that. So, but then the Lord told that you people for so many years stayed together. That's a big thing. So, and that actually pleased me, right? So in that way, like, this is also a way to please the Lord, is to stay together and not tolerate each other's shortcomings and things like that. And if it is too much impossible, so then with good, what is that? Good appreciation for the devotee, we can maintain a distance. That's a very nice way of doing. But then expecting, like, this is one very difficult expectation that devotees have. So when they come into devotional community, they think that outside like this it was happening. Here also it is happening like this. How it is? So it is not good. So outside, the only difference between outside people and devotees are, outside people are, they don't know that they are in the clutches of three modes of nature, and devotees know that they are in the clutches of three modes of nature, and they are working on it. They are work in progress. So that's the difference. Like, this one, problems are going to be there. So definitely the problems will be there when we come together. So till the time we are individually there at houses and we are doing our respective activities, everything will go on nicely. And the moment we come together, there is supposed to be problems. There is bound to be problems. There is no way like we can actually have a problem-free environment. Till the time we become liberated. Only way is that very soon we become advanced and liberated. So then there will not be any problems. Till the time there will be problems. That has to be taken. So, and then we should work on, like, if we have a proposition that there should not be any problem, then we will be the most depressed person. So because the environment is not like that. So in that way, we should prepare ourselves for that, and we should render nice service, for the pleasure of Krishna. Sometimes that also is difficult in Janmashtami to think of the pleasure of Krishna. so much of activities are happening. Like, after this, like, we'll keep on going on in different activities. So, but then still, we should take some time out to meditate on. We should take some time out to stand in front of the Lord. In the afternoon time, there is not much of crowd. We can actually stand in front of the Lord and we can pray. And even the days before Janmashtami, somehow or other, we should see that the quality Shravanam happens. This is the key. If we do nice quality Shravanam, so then somehow or other, by the effect of the subject matter of Krishna, so we are temporarily lifted above our basic nature. and we can act in a better way than what we can otherwise act actually. So that's a very strong tip. So that's what I do. Like whenever I see that my mind is agitated, I am getting like so many different kinds of thoughts, and I'm feeling like chastising somebody and things like that. I just try to chant a little bit. If I'm not able to focus on chanting, I have some nice lectures which I can focus on. Nice speakers like whom like I like philosophy a lot, and I have nice philosophical speakers who gives nice philosophical lectures. So I hear them a little bit, and after hearing for some time, so then I get some kind of this like dimag ka tufan thoda kam ho jata hai. And then I try to come and respond. So when Shravanam is not good, and when you're trying to respond to the stimulus that is coming, that's a short problem. Short, we are going to create a big problem over there, right? So this is one small tip that we can focus on Shravanam. Even amidst tight services, somehow or other we should try to do nice Shravanam.
Thank you. Thank you.
We pause here. Or one or two devotees can share some things what they heard. Anybody would like to share something that you have heard in today's session? What we have discussed with you.
Yes, Prabhuji. The Rohini's and Mother Yashoda's absorption in thoughts of Krishna. Yesterday in the Bhakti session, we were thinking how practically we can remember Krishna also. So continuously they are always absorbed in Krishna's thoughts. So we were also discussing like any activity, our mind is still free only. Many of the activities which we can do, and we can implement. Always try to absorb ourselves in Krishna's thought. That is the one takeaway which I can take from this. Thank you.
Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you mentioned at the time of birth, Garga Muni came to Nand Maharaj and Yashoda Mai, and then he told your son Krishna is going to be of Narayana's quality. Right? He's going to be Narayana. So, and then the second statement that you mentioned was protect him. So how did they?
Yeah, so he is Narayana. Narayana is supposed to protect us. Rakshayati, right? So how they are having this feeling of protection, and so this is the nature of the parental love and affection. So they know that Krishna is Supreme Lord. So even like Vasudeva and Devaki, they had a clear darshan of 400 feature of the Lord, and still like they were having that parental affection. So that's their way in which they are attracted to Krishna, and all other feelings will overcome. Now, just like we know that Krishna is Supreme Lord and everything should be used in His service, but then the moment we see prasadam, so like we start thinking of how can I enjoy this prasadam, right? So it is like naturally like that comes. In the same way, like this devotees in the parental affection, how much ever time you tell that no, He's Supreme Lord, He can protect the whole world. Oh yeah, He can protect the whole world. And then the moment the Krishna does something, no, I have to protect it. So that overpowers. So that's an overpowering feeling that they have. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you for a wonderful lecture. One point which I really liked, you talked about at the end, about Drona and Dhara's prayers versus Vasudeva being prepared previous lifetime. So that was very nice that our prayer should always be to be absorbed in the thoughts of the Lord. A lot of times we think about, can I see Krishna? Things like that.
Krishna, then Krishna will just give darshan one moment. Vanish.
Yeah. Or even like as we think of our devotional service, sometimes we think, oh, I just want liberation or to get away from all this. But then what next? So I think if our prayer is always to be absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna, then Krishna will fulfill that someday.
Yeah, that's very nice prayer.
Krishna Prabhu. The point which I liked is that generally samskaras means they do very, very grandly. So not not keeping the Lord Krishna or his devotees in the middle and doing, or downtaking those activities to the Lord or the pleasure of the Lord. We just we need to get name and fame. That for that purpose they do this samskaras. Whatever it may be, he's getting a name, or the child is getting a name, or the child is being done some punya karmas, that's all. Or giving some prasadam to everyone. That process is not at all there in this now, in this the samskaras what we are following. So the thing is that no problem if there is some devotees, there are some Vaishnava seva, something they are doing for the lordships. That is the actual blessings of that child what we are doing. Otherwise, there is no blessings. Only we are adding up more sins. That is the only thing. That's what Sharab, I like
Yeah.
point is
So the key aspects of samskara is like to somehow or other invoke the blessings of the Vaishnavas, invoke the blessings of the Lord upon the child.
Yeah. And one more thing is that even now in some places, if you see that brahmanas comes to their houses, but they will find out how can we take money from them. like, they will in even in my in-laws place, they come and they will see what at house what they have, very nice beautiful thing. They will ask, I want that. They outwardly ask that.
Yeah.
So
we are it is a caution that for all of us that we are trying to live a little bit of Brahminical life. So we should not become like that. And so the key thing, like how we cannot become like that is if we can absorb ourselves in the ultimate goal, that I have to become very much attached to the lotus feet of the Lord, and I have to perfect my life. And these kind of thoughts, when it is seriously there, so then it can help us from not being attached. So so that's the effect of Kali Yuga, and we can also come into that effect actually. So we should be always cautious and see that this is how much it can go bad. So we should be very cautious about that.
thank you so much for this explanations.
ठीक है ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।
Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for coming here in your busy schedule and enlightening us with the pastimes of the Lord, and also setting the right mood and how everyone should focus on the Shravanam for next 10 days, so that forever. So that we are able to we are able to perform good service on Janmashtami for the pleasure of the Lord. So let's chant one time Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for spiritual welfare of Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
I would like to invite Karthikeyan Prabhuji to make some announcement.
Hare Krishna, Shri Krishna Janmashtami Mahotsav ki
Jai.
So very happy that most of you all are involved. I can say all of you are involved in organizing our Lord's birthday. I always say this, that Devaki and Vasudeva also didn't get this opportunity to organize Lord's birthday. They just dropped him in Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj's place. Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, they organized. The next day they had a good festival. But we are so fortunate we are getting this opportunity to organize Lord's appearance day. And I see a lot of things happening. Panathur, Sarjapur, Mantrespana, a lot of things going on around. So I thought I'd just summarize what we're doing in Panathur and Sarjapur. So till now, we have distributed more than 40,000 pamphlets. So you can just imagine 40,000 people have got pamphlets. Yes. So 30,000 more are remaining. I think that is just like this. Next, we just have 11 days more to go, including today's. And last few days, devotees are like fired up. They can burn anyone and everyone with that fire. That I've seen. So outing should be okay, not inside. And I was just checking with Prabhu that how many people have given donation. So I just got to know 336 people have given donation to Janmashtami. And we have collected this time around 19 lakhs 19 lakhs is collected till now. But last year, how much we collected? 35. And this time we targeted 50. So I think 10 days are there anyways, not 10 good days are there we can do. Because the expense is only going to be around 30 easily, both the places put together. And we're planning we'll save something for construction also. So don't know how it's going to happen. But last year we had 556 people gave donation. So this time we have expanded more because we have more devotees. So only thing that the last year we did was I remember that every devotee was calling every other relative, friend, and things like that, and they are getting a lot of Lakshmi as donation. So many pious people are there who give. So since this donation part has come, I was speaking something yesterday. I would like to share here. So if we see the various missionaries who are there of other faith, like say Christian missionaries or some others, so they don't struggle with funds. They don't struggle. मतलब उनको दो बार सोचना नहीं पड़ता कुछ करने से पहले. Because there's a natural culture in the entire thing for them, Christians, that 10% of their earnings should go to church. That is all, but obvious, that is there. But then when it comes to Sikh people, the people belong to Sikh so I was hearing they contribute 20% of it, earnings. Muslims contribute some 30% of it, yes. And our Vedic says 50%. So I was telling yesterday, pehle Christian to ban jaun. Yes. So why this topic came was whenever we want to open a center, always there is a turmoil, that now in this area, wherever we go, if you want to get a hall, say 1,500 square feet or 2,000 square feet, easily they ask 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh as rent. And as we are increasing our activities, we need more and more people, paid people in the kitchen, the paid cooks who are devotees, but they accept some salary also. So we have to increase that the number also. So every time you see this count is increasing, our expenses are increasing. So I was telling yesterday and today morning also that this has to be a culture, where every devotee feels for the mission and contributes. So today morning I was telling, I'm not going to speak about you give donation, then Krishna will build your palace in Vaikuntha. All that is there. That's all byproduct. That's going to happen anyways. That's there in Purana. But then the important thing is the mission has to go ahead. The mission of Krishna consciousness has to go ahead. That's very, very important. Everyone feels for it, and it's a culture that we bring up. So I was telling that at least start having that culture. And once that culture comes, I think then opening center in every nook and corner will just be, I think with time will just happen. Can you imagine every 5 kilometers you have ISKCON center? You have a traffic jam and you say, okay, I'm going to that center, no problem. Next time I'll come to that center. How amazing that will be. Yes. So for that to achieve, we need funds, we need energy, we need manpower who are ready to give their time and energy. Yes, this is what is very, very important. Anyways, coming back to the topic of Janmashtami, so this is a donation collection update. Yesterday I heard in Panathur they did some unique Janmashtami promotion on the bikes. So devotees are on the bikes it seems, and one devotee would announce in English, another devotee in Hindi, another devotee in Kannada. So this was the promotion that they did. And obviously one-to-one pamphlet distribution. We have printed around 200 plus posters also. 400. 400 posters are printed, A3 size, that is getting stuck at various places. And we have created events in various event websites. So where Janmashtami at Panathur and Sarjapur is seen. And many people are registering to that also. So we have promotions which are going on nicely, but I would request all of you, it's just a matter of 11 days. Every day, please step out in the evening, at least for 1 or 2 hours, and please invite people to our Lord's birthday. Let more and more people get to know. Many times, we have heard this, that we were not knowing. We were not knowing that Janmashtami happened here. So at that time, I feel very guilty, very, very guilty, that we were not able to reach that particular community or that particular house or whatever. So as much as possible, let's go around and invite as many people as possible. All our DPs can be our Janmashtami posters. Our statuses every day can be Janmashtami posters. That will help, yes, in various ways. And good news for all of you, the beautiful, wonderful outfits of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna have arrived yesterday from Sri Vrindavan. So I'll not tell you the color, I'll not tell you how it looks. You can come on Janmashtami and see, but it's very beautiful. I have the photos, I'm not sure. It's very nice. So they have come, Jagannaths and Gaurnitas are going to arrive very soon. They're still making, because we give a lot of orders this time, they're making. Jewelries are also planned. So all that is in line, they're coming, yes. And the kitchen thing is all set. So the bhattas are going to cook, we have booked them. The grocery list is made. The menu is decided full day what we're going to distribute. So right from morning, early morning till night, midnight, 12, we're going to distribute prasad for everyone, whoever comes. As much as they want to eat, we are encouraging. And I'm very happy that all the departments are working, very, very hard. So from cultural departments, I heard from both the places, around 15 professional groups are coming to do seva to the Lord by performing, by doing nritya. They're coming and they're doing that. Kids competition is very nicely planned. This time I saw a unique kids competition, jewelry making. And I also heard devotees went to Chickpet to get all the items for jewelry making. So this is something that is, birthday card making is there, and many, very nice things I saw in that poster. And the preaching stall, so there also they have got nice, unique ideas, working models, where just by seeing that model, the people are walking, they'll be able to understand some lessons of life, especially from Gita, about body and soul. So all these different things are planned. Julan is planned. Our new Julan for Panathur has come. Where at the night when we'll have Julan Utsav, we'll have Sri Radha and Krishna. They'll be coming there just for 2 hours, not more than that. And they'll be having nice celebration there. We will do the seva of swinging them. All these services of decorating the Lord, getting paraphernalia for the Lord, inviting various people to the function. All this in the spiritual world, only close associates of Krishna, Srimati Radharani, Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, only they do. Can you imagine, by the mercy of Patita Pavan, Jagat Guru, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, any Tom, Dick and Harry like ourselves, we are getting this opportunity. Can you imagine that? Yes? Such a glorious opportunity. So after this, have I missed anything? Have I covered? No, whatever. So next thing after that is next day of Janmashtami is again very, very important day for all of us, and that is Srila Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja. So it's a very, very important occasion for all of us. Jadi Prabhupada na hoy to tabe ki hoy to jivana bahita ki. If Prabhupada is there, I don't know if we'll be sitting like this on a Sunday morning, hearing Krishna Katha. At least I would be sleeping till 12 o'clock. I don't know about you all, maybe you're pious, but I come from a sinful background. By Prabhupada's mercy, can you imagine? We all are coming together, we are hearing Krishna Katha, and we are asking questions also, how to maintain the mood and all that. We're chanting extra round. We're doing so many services only by Prabhupada's mercy. And that day, Puja day, is a day when we express our gratitude to Srila Prabhupada. Everyone sitting here, I request all of you that please write something in glorification of Srila Prabhupada. Please type and we'll send a link. And please post it there. We're going to have all your offerings on our website, ISKCON Whitefield. So very, very important seva this is. And why it's so important to write? You can just come and speak also directly. Very important to write because when you write, you're thinking, you're contemplating what all Prabhupada has done for me. And when you get that, you'll be surely moved by your emotions to Srila Prabhupada. And at that time, what words will come, that will be really amazing. I understand we are all having tight schedule, but still, if you can take out some time, it will not take much, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Just type it or write down whatever you want to do. Please do it and send it across. We'll send the link. Let's upload it on our website and let that be a great offering to Srila Prabhupada. So we are around, roughly around 1,000 people in ISKCON Whitefield, 1,000 devotees. Just imagine 1,000 offerings to Srila Prabhupada on his Vyasa Puja day. That will be a very, very amazing offering. So after this, we're going to have, by the way, on Saturday, so Thursday, 7th is Janmashtami that we're celebrating, Panathur and Sarjapur. Friday, we're going to celebrate Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja. And on Saturday, we have another Janmashtami in a gated community of Mantri Spana. We have some devotees sitting here. So that is for that community. So I request all of you to please pray. It's first time we are doing there. And a huge response is already there. Already a lot of people are participating. And a lot of things are happening. I'm very happy to see the group's activities, just messages after messages in that group. So I request all of you, all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis present here, that please pray intensely so that Janmashtami becomes successful and many people there get benefited by coming to that place, hearing the holy name, having prasadam, and witnessing the lordships on the stage. Let's pray for them by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. So on our temple land also, for the first time we are doing Janmashtami. So that Janmashtami is very unique. No manpower, no funds. That is Janmashtami. Now yesterday we were discussing, even promotion is not happening there. It's going to be transcendental Janmashtami, but still we are cooking for 5,000 people. That's even more transcendental. Yes. So I request all of you, all the devotees present here, that please pray that the first Janmashtami on our temple land, where the huge temple is going to come, and the Lordship Shri Shri Radha, Krishna, and Gaurari are going to reside in that place eternally. A huge Janmashtami should happen there. Many people should come and take benefit. So let's pray for that Janmashtami as well. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. So after all these celebrations, the output of the celebration is more people become devotees. And for that, we do Gita course. This time, roughly, if I'm not wrong, we're going to launch 5 Gita courses. So more details, we'll send it in the group. Obviously, one will happen here, one will happen in Sarjapur, and other 3 will let you all know where all is happening. So very important. With time, we're expanding more and more, and it's only possible by the intense prayers and desire of the devotees. We should have this desire that every year the count of the devotees should double. This is what Prabhupada wanted, double it. Every year the count of devotees should double. And when that happens, then the entire society will be very peaceful. Everyone can be satisfied in life. Yes. So thank you all very much. Again, wish you all a very happy, blessed, Krishna conscious Shri Krishna Janmashtami. One more point before I end. One devotee from other congregation had called me, crying piteously, that devotee took away my Janmashtami service. I said, go do something else. What is the problem? So that devotee was so affected, So as Prabhuji was saying, a lot of things are going to happen, during this. But as devotees, we should understand everyone is the mode of service. If someone wants to do, okay, do it. We don't have dearth of services. You come to me. I think everyone knows. As soon as someone gets my call, they're fearful. Oh, what service Prabhuji will give now? So don't worry, come to me. Enough services are there. Enough services are there in this town. Yes, so need not worry. So on the day, let's not have all that crap in our mind. This devotee did that devotee. Krishna knows which devotee did what service. Krishna knows. So we need not worry so much about that. So again, thank you very much. So wish you a very blessed, Krishna conscious, and a very absorbing Janmashtami. And may this Janmashtami help us to progress further and further closer to Krishna. And may on the day of Vyasa Puja of Srila Prabhupada, by offering our heart to Srila Prabhupada in the way of offerings that we are going to write, may we receive his blessings and empowerment so that we can preach more and more. This year we are doing 3. Let us get more empowerment to do maybe 6 or 9 next year. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki. So we'll all get ready for the Aarti.